Okay, now we're going to talk about something we typically don't talk about as engineers, which is psychology. And we're going to talk about psychology of selling energy management projects, particularly from this concept of reward versus penalty. Now, I do this in seminars all over the world. If you were to imagine a room full of people, we'll do this little exercise and it's kind of fun. So the first thing I'll do is I'll put this slide up on the board and I'll say, hey, everyone in the room, if I put $100 up here on stage, how many of you would race up here to get it? It could be a contest. We would line up everyone against the back wall. I'd put $100 on the front table. The first person who can come and grab the $100 gets to keep it. Now, a small percentage of people will play, okay? So what I typically will do is say, okay, maybe not $100. Let's make it $1,000. So if we make it $1,000, how many of you will play? And typically about 30% of the audience will participate, meaning 30% are willing to take action. 30% are willing to do something, to put themselves out there, to take a risk, to try to win something. Now, this is kind of interesting because if you look at this $100 versus $1,000, that's basically testing a hurdle rate. We've identified which people are willing to take risk for a low hurdle rate, which would be the $100, compared to people who want a little bigger payoff, $1,000, a little bigger reward. Typically we get like 30% participation of people are willing to play, okay? Now, if I just do one more exercise, and I basically would say to the group, hey, we're playing the same game, everyone lines up against the back wall in the room, last person to touch this red dot on the screen has to pay me $1,000. And how many of you will play now? And what typically happens is we get about 80% participation rate, because 80% of the people don't want to lose. And it just turns out psychologically humans are more motivated to take action by penalty than they are through reward. So just to review, we have 80% participation with the penalty mechanism. We have only 30% participation with the reward mechanism. The penalty is exactly the same as reward. It's $1,000, but more people are willing to take action based on the penalty. And so the question really is this: how do you present your energy management projects? Most people present their projects as a reward-based system. Do this project and you'll save $200,000 a year. However, my point in this exercise is maybe we should be presenting our projects from the penalty perspective. Because if you think about an energy project, if you choose to do nothing, if the customer says, no, I'm going to delay or I'm going to wait, they are actively choosing to continue to pay extra money to the utility every single month. And you really want to think about this in respect to how you present your projects. I've presented projects before where we said, hey, right now you're throwing away this much amount of money and your competitors are not. So if you don't do this project, you're choosing to continue to throw away money. And in some cases, this can be taxpayer money, and there can be some political ramifications of throwing away taxpayer money. If this is private company money, there can be shareholder implications. What you want to present is the reality that the management of the company, if they don't do the project, is choosing to be wasteful. And that not only has a penalty to the company, but possibly a penalty for their job. So these are other things you can weave into it. But that's just a quick thing on psychology. I want you to think about this. And if you have a success story, please write me. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoy this, and we'll catch you in the next one.